Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle, Curly and Curly. Why are we curly haired today? Today is the last day of the 12 days of Christmas, for one. It's Rosh Chodesh. It's the first of the new month, the Hebrew month. It is Sunday, the 6th of January, 2019. So why are we curly?
Well, Michelle made these really great costumes for a costume party that we went to of American 1770.
1776.
And we plan on possibly making a video for you guys and the costumes.
With Kansas, who has a tricorn hat.
But you gotta have the curls.
You gotta have the curls. You have to sleep on these.
Yeah.
So they were in curlers overnight. We're doing our show. We're not doing our show in curlers. So the hair is ready for the 1776 costumes. However, I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to ask for more curls. Before you ask for us to do more curls, just know it's an extensive process, okay, to make that happen. I did take a picture last night of my hair in the curlers and then my hair in the hat that I sleep in. It's like a sleeping hat. Just so you can understand and you can get an idea of why is this not working? An idea of what this entails. This is silly. All right, well, I'll show you the hat anyway, because that's about all I can get. See the hat? See that? Yeah.
Mine took about 10 minutes.
Okay, mine takes much longer. I don't know how you're some sort of whiz at this.
I have less hair.
Here, this is great. This is really great. This is when I have them in braids, and then I put them all up on my head. You didn't see that.
Wow.
And then I put the hat on. I think I could pull that off, right? Out in public.
Wow.
With all those colors. Wow. Oh my gosh. Shawnee show says mine takes ages to curl.
I know it does.
So we're going to be doing something cool later on with our costumes.
So while everybody's showing up, do you guys remember how we showed you how he was raising funds for that girl who needed a fancy wheelchair?
Yeah.
He did. So I want to show you that.
Oh wow.
Result.
Go and present
Look at the smile on his face.
Christmas present.
Tommy is so awesome.
Oh man, this is gonna be so awesome.
Oh my gosh. Get out of town. They're wrapping it. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna fast forward.
What song would you like to sing first?
You want to roll it?
Wow.
Would you like something to stand while you're here?
What do you think, Zach, underneath that big bracket?
It's a banana. It is. It's a big banana.
Look at that little wheelchair that she has. And now she's getting like the massive deluxe upgrade.
What is it? You a bit happy?
Ah, she's adorable.
Shell shocked.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
There she goes. She'll get used to it.
Oh yeah. Well, she's gonna have to grow into it. I mean, this is something you buy for like life.
Mm-hmm.
It's rubbish.
She's gonna have to learn it too. Oh my goodness. Ah, no hands.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dude, it goes out in the grass?
Just go where you want.
That is significant.
And Tommy raised these funds for this, and I just, I don't think the mainstream media is going to cover this.
Oh, no way.
There was £45,000 raised. The cost of the chair was £21,000. On top of that, we've done a pay it forward to a beautiful woman called Kelly Dimmock, whose husband also serves for our Queen and country. She has 2 sons and she's fighting progressive cancer. Kelly, I've been put in contact with you from someone in the armed forces who explained to me your situation. And just I'd rather you elaborate on it. You served in the army.
Yep.
Your husband's in the army. You have 2 young children. You've been diagnosed with cancer, I believe, and you've been trying to fight against it.
Yeah.
So explain, when was you diagnosed?
I was my peritoneum.
I got put in contact with you because there's a Just Giving page. A Just Giving page where you're trying to raise money. From what I understand, you're here now. You're going away this weekend again.
Yeah.
To Germany.
Yeah.
So the NHS won't give this treatment. What's the treatment?
So what happened is in April I started chemotherapy and I had 2 cycles of chemotherapy. So it was 11 4 5-hour days that I had constant chemo. Made me feel horrendous, as you can imagine. They told me I was going to lose my hair, so I had all my hair cut off to here, and it had always been full length. And I had it cut off on Mother's Day, to be precise. And then they literally turned around and said they weren't going to give me that treatment, so I cut my hair off for no reason. So it just started thinning and it didn't do anything else. And then when we went on holiday this year, a lady kept on contacting me and I thought, oh well, I haven't got a signal, so I'll wait. And she had been to Frankfurt to this clinic called Infusio who deals with cancer. And I just thought, oh, I'll hear her out when we get back. And then all of a sudden she started this Just Giving page. Didn't even know who she was, you know, and her name's Heidi Luckraft.
This is the lady that...
Yeah, she had Lyme disease, so she'd been to this clinic before.
Which is very serious.
What they did. So we were really lucky that, you know, there was £50,000 raised. We had a kind lottery donor. The support from fellow soldiers was like, wow, amazing. So this treatment was going to be for a month. So before we knew it, we were flying to Germany. This all happened in the space of 2 weeks.
So they give you target chemotherapy. After your target chemotherapy, what effect has it had on the tumour?
15% shrinkage.
Wow.
It's quite...
So in the UK, it's just, that's it, we can't, you're terminal.
Yeah.
And it's shrunk it by 15%. What sort, if you kept having this treatment, not just would it give you hope, but what sort of gauge would that have on your life, do you think?
They don't know.
Should be getting the best of everything, or the best treatment of everything. So we had a campaign. I've met your children. Again, as a dad, every minute's precious, and it must be so for you now. A little present.
Oh my God. A special thank you to everyone who helped get me my wheelchair. I can't wait to get it. I'm happy for the extra donations to help this military family in need. Good luck to Kelly and family. £13,593 added to it. Thank you. Thank you, Daisy. And family.
So it was raised for her, and then Daisy took and paid it forward to.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry.
So we have good news.
Good news.
Good news to cover this year.
Oh my gosh, well done, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy
and everybody else
been
that
through
supported
a lot
that
this year. A lot of people don't agree with his tactics, but he hasn't done anything illegal, and he certainly hasn't done anything deserving of the public outcry against him and the shaming. Exactly. Well, Macron over there in France still has these yellow vest protests. I guess his little tiny concessions aren't exactly working. The protests were mostly peaceful, but they kind of got out of hand at night. So I'm going to show you some videos there. But as far as President Emmanuel Macron is concerned, the people don't want him there at all. He tried to appease the people.
They should have listened to us in the UK.
Yeah.
Should have voted in Marine Le Pen. That's okay. You have another opportunity. When is the next election for 20? It's 2020 for them, isn't it?
I believe so. But then there's European 21? Parliament votes happening this spring, so that's going to really tip the scales towards populist movement. While Macron tried to portray his In March movement as fundamentally populist, he tried to frame himself as a populist. He has endured criticism that he is a president of the rich, and he definitely is. He has called the yellow vest protesters angry and violent, and while he was at one point kind of appeasing, now he's definitely not. France is on fire again. They raised the founder, which is probably they arrested the founder of the yellow vest, which is probably going to make people pretty happy, but not really. Definitely some more violence has erupted.
2022 for France, Sean says. Thank you.
Oh, they're elected for a long term.
You know, I don't believe in violence. And violence itself is never justified, just like to go looting and, you know, burning things and whatnot. So hear me out on that. But their protesting itself is wholly justified, wholly righteous.
Well, you're always going to get those people who take over a protest.
Absolutely.
Water cannons were used at the protests. France has the highest tax rate.
Yeah.
I think in the world.
This is, yeah, when they go to take all of your money and then they're not even, you know, recompensing you for that.
Tear gas.
So Sean says, I have heard that an early election can be called in France if Macron gets a no confidence vote.
There's a lot of people in these. They're not done. They're still upset, and the media really isn't covering it or giving it negative coverage. They are giving it negative coverage because these are the populist people.
Right.
These are the people who want power back to the people.
It's hard to watch, really, frankly.
At this point, Macron has just lost control.
Well, and I guess, in my humble opinion, I have a hard time with the violence against police because the police are just doing their job. These people are angry at the government. You know, they want to pull Macron out in the street and beat him, and yet they're beating these people that are just trying to do their jobs.
Well, here comes a professional boxer, who's gonna just take out one of the police officers. This is us just reporting on this. I'm not condoning this behavior.
You know, Barbaza points out that in the UK they have a massive tax rate, but it's all hidden taxes, like taxes that are added to purchases after they've been taxed on their income, which is true. It's hard not to laugh at the boxer, though, I have to be honest. But seriously, I mean, it's unfortunate, and France already has the history of the drag them in the streets and cut their heads off.
Yeah. I'm not saying.
Don't mess with the French. I mean, I guess it's the moral
I'm not
story.
saying that these people are led by the Holy Spirit. I think some of them have definitely want to come out and to get things done, but when you have the thugs come in, it just kind of ruins the whole protest idea. You have to be smarter. You have to use more wisdom.
So this was yesterday, right? UN forces. The blue helmets are the UN forces. So this happened yesterday in France. Now, the UK also had a yellow vest protest that had some violence that broke out.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think there was one in Manchester.
Chris Holman says the French can't win a war. Overthrowing their government is their thing. Macron should be worried. That's pretty good. and true. Very true.
They're pretty good at that one, though.
They are, yeah.
So I want to take you, I think over here I have just the,
So before I miss
Yellow
this
vest.
comment, I'm going to read it now. I have the clip up. We'll show them later.
okay.
But Lisa on Facebook Live says that she's still laughing at the AOC clip that we made. It's too funny. So we're going to be playing that clip from Friday, sped into 1.5 time, and we've put it on Twitter, and I really want it to go viral. It already has like 1,300 views.
So this is the
We want our
English
country back.
Defense League here.
EDL.
We want our country. We want our country back. You've got the police were just as violent against the protesters as the protesters were against the police. It was pretty brutal out there. It was like Fight Club. The police,
rough.
yeah.
So what Mama's saying is the blue helmets are the UN. They're not even the police for like local authorities. Which I guess makes it a little bit more like war.
When you have the violent protesters mixed in with like the geriatrics and the
Oh, she was asking. Well, you stated it like a fact. Okay, that was a question. Just strike that from the record. We don't know about the blue helmets.
No, I think they're just French.
I think they
they're
are
just
too,
French
yeah.
police. They would.
Britt Baza says in a London protest, a 13-year-old girl was arrested for beating a policeman up. He says, yeah, that's one charge that the police are not going to look daft at defending in court.
There is a clip here I have where the majority of the people were good. Here's a clip where the yellow vests all part ways for an ambulance.
Oh, wow.
There's no volume here. But an ambulance is going through and the yellow vests are all moving for the ambulance.
So we show this to you guys because the mainstream media would have you believe that all over Europe and in the UK, people are just fine with the status quo. They're fine with having everything taken from them. Mm-hmm. The socialists that have been elected into power in the United States, all of these people would have you believe that socialism works, that everybody is happy with their socialist lifestyle, and they're not. They are fed up with the power and control being taken away from the people.
There's never
all their
enough.
money.
There's never enough. When you start down the path of socialism,
it's insatiable until they have everything, and then you're in communism.
Right. I think this was more of the mood in general during the day.
Right.
Just a lot of normal people marching with the desire of, they've been pushed up against the walls from what I'm hearing in some of the interviews. They just, everything they have is just like being squeezed and squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. They have no money left to just like buy things, to take trips,
live life,
to live, because they're taxed on everything. They're just overtaxed. And this is what...
It's also the prime example of, your Alexandria Cortez quote of the tippy tippy top. Mm-hmm. No, these people are being squeezed like a turnip. I mean, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
They are the, middle class, the lower classes. Everything that they have is being taken from them.
Yeah. Here is a picture of people in the yellow vest in London. So,
So I also wanted to remind our viewers in the United States and maybe other European countries, I don't know, but I know in the United States this is not us. We are not required to have yellow vests in our cars. Remember when this came out and you and I are going, where are all these people getting their yellow vests? And then our UK people and our European people piped in and they're like, no, we have to have a yellow vest in our car in case of an emergency. If we have a car wreck or flat tire or we're stuck on the side of the road, we have to have that vest and we put it on for safety reasons. I think that's actually cool. I think it's a good idea,
right? Even
if you're not required. But for those, it's just an interesting tidbit to showcase the differences between our countries.
And as a result of Macron's policies and Merkel and the EU, this is an article from The Voice of Europe, which says Europe's patriots are on course to win European elections as globalist Macron has lost control.
So great.
The European parliamentary elections are this May. And this year, more than previous MEP elections, is likely to be profoundly consequential with a turnout that has not been previously seen. Mr. Salvini's party, I think I was looking at these numbers here, had, let's see. I'm going to go through some of these.
While you're looking through that, though, hang on, because I want this to be significant to them. I want them to understand what's happening. We would love for the EU to just collapse, to be no more, to be nothing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But if we can't get that, by gosh, it would be great if Salvini and all of these populist parties and Hungary and Poland would take over the European Parliament.
All right, so Mr. Salvini's league has 6% of the vote currently and 5 of Italy's seats in the European Parliament, and it looks to get 33% when 29 seats. So that's huge.
Right.
That's huge. France is right on course to win 21%, pushing Mr. Macron's Les Républicains centrist party into second place and giving Miss Le Pen a chance of redemption after her disappointing presidential election. Viktor Orban's right-wing Fidesz party is almost certain to confirm its dominance in Hungary. And the Eurosceptic Alternative for Germany looks likely to double its tally of 7% and 7 seats. Poland's Conservative Law and Justice Party is expected to win 41% and 24 seats, up from 32% and 19 seats.
I love it.
So it could even obviously go higher as people get an idea of what's going on.
Oh my gosh. So Worth a Look says that yes, the EU finish would be amazing. Britt Baza says Nigel isn't in the EU Parliament anymore. I would have loved to see Marine Le Pen and Farage team up. That would be great. It'll be interesting to see what Farage does do.
Well, really, yeah, definitely would be very interesting.
He can't just do his radio show.
Yeah. If you are in Sweden,
okie
watch out
Going
because right now the government is introducing the so-called extended criminal law protection for the transgender people, which means that the basis of the cross-border identity or expression is added to the crime hotspot. And so basically it's against the law to say anything against transgenders at all. This is definitely a translation here, so it's hard to explain.
It won't read correctly.
Exactly, yeah. The bill proposes that the basis for cross-border identity or expression be added to provisions on incitement to ethnic groups. Anyone in a statement or another message spreading threats or expressing a misconception for an ethnic group or a race or a color or a national or ethnic origin or a sexual orientation or a transgender and identity is for a period of no more than 2 years, or if the crime is small, a fine. You can go to jail for saying that a transgender person may be born and it may be the gender they're born as.
So as we have done research over the past 2 years into remember when Trump said, what's happening in Sweden? Into what's happening in Sweden specifically about how the women are now wearing modern day chastity belts. They are being raped at an astronomical number.
Well, for Sweden. And the police are too overwhelmed to be able to prosecute. So essentially what they are now saying is, we have the resources and we are going to put as a preference to prosecuting hate crime versus somebody that has been raped by an ethnicity or a religion or something that you can't even talk about. The girl that got raped, if she cries out and says this was a Muslim, she's more likely to be prosecuted and punished than for the person that actually raped her. Exactly. That is just on point.
I'm on point. Leah says
that is true. That is absolutely true.
Worth a Look says the system are really pushing this transgender thing. They want everyone swapping to the opposite sex. Another way of depopulation in the West. Mess everyone's heads up and changing gender. That is spot on, my friend.
So we talked about this a little bit on Friday, but we didn't get to cover the attack because we didn't go live last Sunday with our
European
news. So December 31st, there was a knife-wielding man who went around yelling, "Long live the caliphate." He took a kitchen knife, shouting "Allahu Akbar," and attacked people at a Manchester station. A man and a woman in their 50s and a police officer were injured around 9 p.m. Attacker was pepper sprayed and then tasered. In my opinion, you should have shot him, but, then pinned down and arrested. Anti-terror officers are investigating, and police are treating incident as terrorism. They have raided the suspect's home, and 2 victims remain seriously injured. Of course, afterwards, you heard a lot of people saying, it's not Islam. It has nothing to do with Islam.
Mm-hmm. Long live the caliphate, but it has nothing to do with Islam.
Yeah. So let's not talk about Islam.
Oh my goodness.
So in Canada, we're gonna jump around today. By the way,
Going to Canada.
we're gonna go all over the place. I like to usually start to stay in a country and stay in that country, but we're jumping all over the place. In Canada, there's an Islamic party coming to Ontario.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess that there's an Islamic party who has put in.
Terrifying, to be honest.
The Islamic Party of Ontario has officially reserved their name under the elections Ontario rules in October of 2018. There are more steps required before it becomes a formal party. It operates with a mandate to introduce Islamic rule in Ontario, in Canada,
kidding.
According to the fledgling party.
Don't you know?
We understand that Islam is a native religion of Ontario and Canada.
Huh? Probably not.
That's kind of like when they brought over like honeysuckle and like it looks native to here, but it's not.
It is not.
native.
Honeysuckle is the devil.
The Islamic Party of Ontario is headed by one Jawed Anwar, who operates out of the Toronto neighborhood of Thorncliffe Park. In a column posted at the end of October targeting American activist Laura Loomer, Anwar described her as Islamophobe Tariq. The guy who wrote this, I think Tariq Fatah in Toronto Sun. Tariq is an enemy of Islam and a hate purveyor. Non-Muslim readers, even the police and politicians, would not know the significance of the allegation, but every Muslim on earth is aware of the implications of accusing a Muslim of being an Islamophobe or being an enemy of Islam. So he is a Muslim being accused of...
Wow.
Yeah. An allegation such as the one labeled against this author, I'm going to show you a tweet that he put out, actually, this Tariq.
Declaring him as an apostate, which makes it a duty of other Muslims to kill him and thus secure a place in paradise for themselves.
Yeah, for those living in 2019 and in the 21st century, this may sound like a joke, but those who are still living as if it were 1019 in the 11th century, the beheading of an alleged Muslim apostate is part of their heritage and faith. After all, the first Muslim versus Muslim war broke out within a year of Prophet Muhammad's death, with one section of the community was declared apostates by the Caliph, and the war of apostasy led to thousands being killed over an issue of religious text.
Wow.
This person says death threats do not...
and maybe that's a little bit something that we could put in on the column for the differences between Christianity and Islam. Because in Islam, if you are declared an apostate, then it's the responsibility of those that are against you to come at you and kill you. Okay? So then we have a war and infighting and death. We kind of don't see that amongst the Baptists and the Methodists and, the Catholics. We may have some anger, but not death.
So this is their policies. This is what their policies are.
Okay.
Establish Islam as the natural religion of Ontario.
Oh, my goodness.
Quash LGBTQ rights because God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Okay, you know what, though? That one cracks me up because I wish that these people that are aligning themselves with this party, these big lefties that are all open, would read that part.
They do want a complete ban on abortion, except in a situation when a mother's life is in danger. Except in the concept of gender identity or seven-color gender. Ban liquor, drugs, adultery, and gambling. So there you have that.
Doesn't sound like any kind of dictatorship I ever knew.
Yeah.
Actually, it kind of doesn't.
So
it's very twisted and weird.
The left is so insane when it comes to this stuff. So this is Tariq Fatah's Twitter
we
page.
played that last week, didn't we?
No, I haven't played this one.
Amala!
It's in another one. So I guess this is a common occurrence, and people were saying is that you wonder why these kids grow up and like blow things up. It's like they literally beat the children. They beat the Quran in them. There you go.
This is child abuse! Oh my gosh!
That's the devil right there.
That is Satan! Oh my gosh! Give me that stick. I'm gonna go beat that man.
That's the devil, baby. And so when we say that some of these people might be filled with,
You know, I gotta say it. I just have to say it. I get the violence sometimes. If I was there in that situation, I'd be wailing on that dude. I totally would.
I could take him.
Oh my gosh.
But the problem is you can't, because then like 7 other Muslim dudes would come and chop your head off.
Yeah, that's true.
They would. They would come.
Just put them in a room in my house. I'd be wailing on that dude.
So because some news is bad, I thought there's somebody's Europe. Whatever I follow on Twitter, Europea or whatever. Europe news. They were posting severe weather in Europe. And this is in the Czech Republic, I believe. And so I thought, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's not as clear, big as it was small.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's coming. Oh, jeez. Oh, get back in your car. Get back in your car. Okay, let go. Just let go. You're not going to stop the car. Just get away and let it go. Oh my goodness. It's an avalanche of cars. Oh my gosh.
So,
and they stay in their car to try to save their car, I think.
I
but
know.
I think it's better just to get out.
So, in Greece, this weekend, or January 1st on New Year's Day, they got a lot of snow. I didn't know Greece could get this much snow. It's like over a foot of snow here in Greece. So, I thought seeing some weather would help.
Sean says, "You're right, Commander." Thank you for the commander nod. It's always strange how the left supports Sharia law. If that came and they wouldn't realize that they wouldn't be allowed to be, they wouldn't be allowed, the left wing, homosexual, or even anything other than Islam. Can't they see this? And I don't understand why they can't see it.
I can't watch your curls because I get motion sick for some reason. I can't, like, it's like throwing throwing me off like as bad as younger hair. So happy 2018. Here are some highlights for you.
Oh, this is so great. Oh, come on. Thank you. Whoever puts the sound effects to these. This is great. The kissing. Well, stop with the kissing.
He doesn't kiss with the lips. He kisses with the inside of his lips.
Oh, stop it. Ooh, stop it. Oh, my goodness. He's like sliding down those stairs. They're like carrying him.
You know, for somebody who can't walk, his kisser seems to keep.
Oh, going down. All right. Whoop. Why do these people support him and like literally physically carry him? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Jeez.
So,
and people paying taxes for that old fart.
Rip Waza sent me this. This Australian anchor lays out how Brexit could have happened and how it should have happened, and how there is absolutely, I love the way she says it, unequivocally no excuse for what is happening in this Brexit debacle.
Fascinating. Cool.
She says that for Theresa May, as a country's leader, to say either vote for my horrible, bad, awful deal or the country will descend into chaos. She's not a leader.
Exactly.
That's not leading people.
Right.
That is, well, she should have had a vote of no confidence. What is happening is the incompetence in the leadership in the UK is astonishing. Like, it's, and we have, for all the hullabaloo, for all the craziness, for all of the fear,
Right.
she kind of lays out like this could have been really simple.
Yeah.
And should be really simple. You people are acting like nincompoops.
Baker Mom says, don't forget, no more sandwiches. They threatened that. They keep
Result,
saying.
they didn't like the Eurocrats in Brussels calling the shots over Britain's trade, Britain's immigration, and Britain's economic regulation plan for a Britain that was, once more, fully self-governing and fully free to work out its own place in the wider world. The basic problem is that no serious person in the British government or the British Parliament has put up a credible vision for...
No serious person has put out a real vision. Like,
Right.
just regular, like, here's what we're going to do. This makes sense. It's all these platitudes. Like, I'm going to have a Brexit. That's what Theresa May say. We're going to deliver Brexit. But, like, literally sit down, like, and give the plan.
Right.
Like, it's absolutely crazy.
It shouldn't have been this hard. With Britain entirely in charge of everything, all it had to do was decide the kind of future relationship that it wanted with the EU and offer it to them on a take-it-or-leave-it basis, given that Europe has always needed Britain far more than Britain has needed Europe. It really should have been pretty straightforward, given that all trade between Britain and Europe is fully free of tariffs and quotas, and pretty much all economic activity and Britain and Europe is now happening under the same rules. The obvious way forward would have been a British declaration that all existing European rules would apply in Britain until they were changed.
I like the way she says this. Okay, we're going to leave the EU.
Right.
And here's our paper.
Right.
We're not going to make leaving the EU about cherry picking the laws right now.
Right.
Okay?
It's too much for one.
We're going to leave everything in place.
Yeah.
And then as Parliament sees fit, we're going to go one by one by one by one. But no new rules
Right.
that the European Union imposes on the European Union countries will be applied. She just lays out something that is makes so much sense because it looks really complicated.
Yeah.
When you're trying to like, okay, what do we do about this? And what do we do about this? Okay, everything's going to stay the same, and then our Parliament is going to have to introduce bills.
Oh,
okay?
you mean they actually might have to work for a living?
Like, undo the tangle that is, and then Parliament can say, hey, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this.
So then the will of the people is actually executed.
Exactly.
Seemingly.
But that no future ones made on the continent would apply unless adopted, and that no future decision of any European tribunal would apply in the UK unless it was specifically adopted by a British one. The offer could have been something like this. Trade with the EU would be entirely free of tariffs and quotas, and there would be full mutual recognition of credentials and standards. There would be the free movement of people for work at high wages, but not for welfare.
Very interesting. She says, okay, to deal with the Irish backstop, the problem with Ireland, she goes, have the free movement of people for work.
For take-it-home wages, when they actually do a job that earns money that they need to bring home.
But
not for welfare.
No welfare. You're not going to get shelter. You're not going to get housing. You're not going to get food. You're not going to get medical care.
Right.
Okay? And then it puts a stop on, okay, well, if I'm not going to be relying on you, I have to go back to my own country to get a new hip replacement. I have to go back to my own country for this or for that, unless you become a UK citizen.
Exactly. I love it.
And all European citizens currently resident in Britain would be welcome to stay indefinitely and perhaps even apply for UK citizenship. And the ask would have been exactly the same the other way for Brits in Europe. And so-called divorce payments, well, none. Not a dollar, not a euro, not a pound, except for shared costs of ongoing joint projects. And with Britain unilaterally proposing free movement of goods with Europe, there would be no need for a hard border with Ireland unless the EU tried to make the Irish have one, and that then would be a problem for the Irish to resolve, not Britain.
Thank you.
Back in January last year, British Prime Minister Theresa May famously stated that no deal
this lady.
is better than a bad deal. Well, only if she'd subsequently lived up to that solemn declaration. The problem thus far is that a bad deal, a very bad deal, has been the only one the EU has been prepared to offer. Basically, Britain has to accept remaining in a single market forever without any further say over the single market's rules.
And then she goes on to talk about Theresa May and how she's not a good leader. I mean, like, nobody sits down for all the hullabaloo, for all the craziness. Nobody gets to sit down and just, okay, this is a really good compromise. Okay, we're leaving. We voted to leave. It doesn't have to be that crazy. Nothing has to change. Let's keep all the laws in place.
Right.
And we'll redo one by one. We're not bringing in any new people that aren't citizens of Europe.
Right.
Show that you are a citizen of Europe, of
Exactly.
another European country. We're not bringing in asylum people. You just can't hop on a lorry and
This
come
plan
on
is so
in.
straightforward. It's exactly what it should be. It is kind of the no deal, right?
Yeah.
That she just said at the very end. Theresa May hasn't lived up to the fact that no deal is better than a bad deal. She just proposed bad deal after bad deal after bad deal.
So, however, the Pope has decided to tell people to stop bickering over the migrant ships and let everybody in.
Francis has used his Epiphany address to urge European leaders to welcome 49 migrants stranded aboard 2 humanitarian rescue ships in the Mediterranean. Severely intoning every word, Francis launched his appeal after the Angelus prayer with some 60,000 faithful in St. Peter's Square.
Just take in all the people. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here.
Wow.
Here's a report. 1 in 10 UK clerics physically attacked in past 2 years. 1 in 10 clerics of the Church of England have been victims of violence in the past 2 years.
What?
I know. And according
Violence
to a
from
comprehensive
where?
survey by the Royal Holloway, University of London, the government-funded survey, the first of its kind in 20 years, found that over 2/3 of clergy have been verbally abused and 20% have experienced threatening behavior. 83 respondents said that they had been threatened in the last 2 years, and 90% of these had been threatened with personal harm. Another 20% had a relative threatened, and 35% had experienced threats to church property.
Wow.
Among those who had been threatened, more than a third had been threatened more than once, the report said. Nearly 1 in 6 respondents reported experiencing a rise in online abuse. The survey was motivated by a perceived rise in violence and verbal attacks with the rise of secularism and changing societal factors. The Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government provided funding for the survey. Once we receive this research, we can decide on our next steps. It didn't really say where it was coming from, but I am going to guess that if there's violence to the clergy, it might be from people who belong to a different religion, not to secular atheists.
Ah.
But that is my educated guess because they didn't release that part of the
That's a properly
survey.
educated guess. I mean, the only other thing that I could think of is what I see over and over again in the chat, and y'all know I don't like it, is anger and hatred against Catholicism from Protestants. But I don't ever hear it leading to that kind of violence or anything,
Salvini is opposite. There's an Italian football Super Cup that's going to be hosted in, I believe, in Saudi Arabia.
Super Cup.
Super Cup. It's a soccer.
Okay.
Soccer.
Football. Got it.
Well, he is upset because the single women are not allowed to attend the match without a man accompanying them. And he says, I want to watch the match. I'm not going to watch the match. Soccer is a slave to business and to television. He says, let's see, along with Salvini, several other politicians have criticized the choice of location for the match, such as the Brothers of Italy leader Giorgia Meloni, who said women can only go in the family areas, not alone, because Islam does not allow it. So an Italian woman
They have family areas.
who wanted to buy a ticket to watch the game alone or with a group of friends cannot do it. That is disgusting. Have we sold the centuries of European civilization and battles for the rights of women for the money to the Saudis?
Whoa, hang on. I'm going to read that sentence in plain English. That is disgusting. Have we sold centuries of European civilization and battles for the rights of women for the money to the Saudis or from the Saudis? It's all about that petrodollar, baby.
Yeah.
They are selling the rights of women just for that petrodollar, turning a blind eye.
Another football tournament is also set to take place in the Middle East and Qatar in 2022, with the country doubling the price of alcohol in a so-called sin tax. That's a way to make money there.
Wow. Well done. Salvini. Darn it. I want to meet him. I would love to interview that man one day. I know Ochinali dei Soli. I could do it in Italian. That's sunglasses.
Dove è il bagno?
I know where the bathroom is. Cameriera. That's waiter.
Swedish migration board handed out 132,696 residency permits in 2018, which include tens of thousands of asylum seekers and their family members.
Wow.
The largest number of residency permits were given for reasons of family connections, including 72 adoptions.
That's what we call chain migration.
641 family reunifications for asylum seekers.
Wow.
And a bunch of other family get-togethers there. Asylum seekers and family reunification residency permits make up the majority of total residency permits. So you've
family reunification sounds so noble.
But if all these dudes are coming over here, what family are they being reunited with? It's all men, so.
And their several wives.
Yeah.
They need to be reunited with their several wives and given free housing with their several wives. I need a big old house because I got 3 wives and 8 kids to provide for. Sweden.
I think they're bringing in their 4th cousin. British police have arrested a suspect in the fatal stabbing of a man in front of his 14-year-old son on a suburban London train.
So they arrested the suspect.
Yeah, a 51-year-old man was killed Friday afternoon on board a train traveling from the town of Gulliford to London Waterloo Station. The attack was not believed to be a random assault. He said the 2 men appeared to have been involved in an argument that escalated into the moments leading up to the killing. This is C.D. Khan's London, and he has control, so don't worry. Everything's fine.
We're all fine here.
Nigel Farage demanded the government stand up to the EU and to France and to bring the Channel migrant crisis under control. The Leave Mean Leaves co-chair and former UKIP chief urged Home Secretary Sajid Javid to ignore the civil service and free movement lobby and the EU itself and get a grip on this migrant crisis and do something to restore public confidence in the politicians in a Telegraph article. Javid has so far resisted calls to deploy more of Britain's tiny fleet of border force cutters, with the agency's union warns a woefully inadequate to patrol the English Channel, suggesting that paradoxically this could actually incentivize more migrants to launch themselves across the sea on small boats and stolen fishing vessels. This has left members of the public who do not understand why illegal migrants intercepted at sea would not simply be taken back across the water to France. But though this is seldom mentioned, this is near impossible under Brussels regulations, which I find incredibly weird. Somebody gets in the water and suddenly, yay, they come in, they get fed, they get clothed, they get housed, and they try to come in illegally.
You know, it's unbelievable. I don't know what you were watching last night, but somebody pointed out, and they said it, and we say it this way all the time, but I just want to rehash it.
Right.
If somebody were to come to your house, would you rather they come through your front door knocking and asking permission, or would you rather they break through the window? Okay, we have all these people breaking through the window, coming up from South America here into the United States, coming from all over the place into Europe, and they are breaking down windows. They are forcing themselves in. Imagine just your home, your domain, and then all of a sudden 50 people rush in, they start looting, they start taking all of your food that you worked hard to buy, to provide for. Okay, they're raping your wife. I mean, seriously, this is not okay. And then you provide for them? And you say, no, go ahead, you can stay. Let me give you a bedroom. Or all of my bedrooms. I'll move out.
I want you to bring this up for the people. So I'm going to tweet this out because
okay, we're getting it from Twitter.
You're not going to be able to see it from the back here, I don't think. Okay. But I'll tell you what it is. I'm just going to tweet this out. So the British Army seeks to get some of the millennials who might have been called bad names here and there. And I can't believe this is real, except for there's a picture of this campaign on a wall here. It's absolutely crazy. You can go to, you won't, it's not a video.
Oh, okay.
So you can just bring it up for people to see. In the latest sign, the British Army is failing to meet recruitment numbers as it's reeling from the UK's worst troop shortage since 2010. And following a new law opening army ranks to foreign nationals of Commonwealth countries. A new series of recruitment posters is calling on snowflakes, selfie addicts, class clowns, phone zombies, and me millennials as part of a gimmicky new recruitment drive targeting young people. Yes, snowflakes,
selfie addicts, and phone zombies.
So read.
Snowflakes, your army needs you and your compassion. Selfie addicts, your army needs you and your confidence. Phone zombies, your army needs you and your focus. We're playing to your strengths. Or maybe
if you take
weaknesses.
Somebody's phone away, they're not going to be able to focus. They're focusing on their phone for a reason. You can scroll down.
Snowflakes, the army needs you and your compassion. Hang on, wait, I think I had to open it up into another. Here we go.
So I guess bring up that one then. Look at that one.
I
couldn't believe it.
Like,
Like,
any bigger.
Class
clowns.
Okay,
the army
okay,
needs
go
you.
back. You can read it. There's another one that makes it
Okay.
bigger. Okay, there
Here
you
we go.
Go ahead.
And your spirit. Binge gamers. Your army needs you and your drive. That's it. That's the 6, I guess.
I feel like this is
me
embarrassing.
millennials. Your army needs you and your self-belief. This is really embarrassing.
I feel like it's a parody, but it's not. Like, I
Can't be real. It's real?
I don't know what to say. Like, what kind of army are you gonna have with like me, class clown, game bingers, selfie addicts, snowflake, phone zombies? Like, that doesn't sound like an army that I would put together.
You know what though?
Ever.
That might be all they get. I mean, seriously, that's the generation. The globalists, we'll just call them the globalists for now. They don't understand that their plans don't actually work. They end up backfiring because if you raise weak people, okay, if you raise these selfie addicts and the phone addicts and the gamers and whatnot, you are raising incompetent human beings. So then when you need to put together an army to take over the world, there's no one to do it because you ruined everyone by raising these incompetent, deranged, weak
true. This is fantastic.
human beings.
Create your millennial army. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, because you can have your millennial army come after all of our Second Amendment type people that will still be better in their 70s and 80s than your little snowflakey soy boy millennials.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they just will be.
So I think it's a great thing. I think it's great. I just don't want you to put their lives in danger because they're not going to be able to handle it.
No.
So point. Voice of Europe, Janice Atkinson, and I believe she's MEP from the UK in the European Parliament. She is a columnist for the Voice of Europe, which is the Twitter account and the Facebook page I meant to say earlier. Sometimes the words are back here and they don't come out my mouth, so it happens. So Voice of Europe, Janice Atkinson has
I guess
put
we were
together.
cut off for a second.
Oh,
We're back.
We're back. Has put together a list of the heroes of 2018 in
like legit heroes
for populist movements for the world.
Awesome. I love it. We tried to do this on our New Year's Eve show, but it wasn't quite firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and so I felt like, this is our first show back, 2019. Raring to
Friday
go.
was, but yeah, it's our first
For UK.
European UK show.
UK show. Number 1, she has President Trump, populist in chief,
Hot
for
diggity dog.
exiting the Paris Climate Accord, for an explicit no on the UN's migration compact.
Yes.
He's going to build that wall.
Yes, he will.
Reducing taxation and boosting the economy and forcing liberals into a meltdown.
That's my favorite.
Matteo Salvini.
He's my favorite too.
The rights poster boy. Immigration from invaders is down to 80%. 80%. He's got his borders on lockdown. Without no wall, baby. Stopping illegal migrants entering Italy's ports. Deporting 500,000 illegal migrants. That's huge.
Italy isn't even that big. 500,000 people in Italy are no longer there.
For promising a flat tax and for taking on the EU.
He was pictured there with Geert Wilders, which I love.
Yeah. So she put together number 3, Geert Wilders and Marine Le Pen as a tag
dynamic
team.
duo.
Go ahead. The rights.
I want to keep doing it in an Italian accent. The rights poster girl and boy for in 2019, their nations will see them as visionaries on migration, culture, borders, sovereignty, and leaders.
Number 4.
Viktor Orban and the Polish PIS governments. The poster boys and girls for opposing the EU's sanctions, for defending their borders, rule of law, and their way of life, culture, and heritage, for securing their nations against an invading culture, for standing up to family life against the EU's hatred and of the family unit, for refusing to bow down to the EU's blackmail over the rule of law and migrants.
The Austrian FPO, H.C. Strzok.
Love it. Another poster boy of the right who is in coalition with the conservatives, this plucky, little, landlocked liberal and tolerant country voted in a right-wing coalition and is quietly carrying out the will of the people on migration, borders, and defending their culture.
Austrian government's definitely quietly making changes. The alternative news media, and I love this.
But boom, we're in it, baby.
Despite being
we
attacked,
made it on the list.
Despite being attacked virally, physically, by the tech giants in collusion with failed Western governments and by the supranational powers, they continue to bring us the reality reports of what is actually happening in our world. Hats off to, and it's not an exhaustive list,
Resistance Chicks,
The Rebel from Canada, Sputnik and RT Russia. I love how she was brave enough to put that up there. An Army from the U.S., Gellner, Spencer, Posobiec, Mech,
Cernovich, Infowars, Nick Monroe, and Breitbart.
Tawhidi, Yamini from Australia, Voice of Europe, Alternative News Media, Political Light, Political UK, Facts for EU, and I do not know who Fenomani and
Based Poland from Europe, and Resistance Chicks.
Number 7, the Australian government,
For showing us you can control immigration, you would give us a free trade deal tomorrow. Thank you for believing in Britain.
Number 8, the Brexiteers.
I guess I can do that in British. 2019 is our year. Well done for your perseverance, tenacity, bravery, and humour. I'm going Australian, you better do it.
We've been under attack in a full-scale war since January 24th, 2016, when the Conservative Leave campaign threw in the towel and allowed Theresa May to stamp all over us. Well done to the few Conservative MPs and even fewer Labour ones, mostly who have been deselected, who are battling for real Brexit. Don't berate me for being number 8. We're nearly there. Our year was 2016.
Number 9, the Galatians. France does not taking it lying down.
And she thanks her family. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Janice Atkinson. That was wonderful. I love it.
Yes.
Oh, man. That's so cool. When we look back on 2018, I think it's easy to see the highs and the lows, but the lows sort of stand out a little bit more than the highs. So to have somebody like Janice put together a list where we're like, hang on. Let's remember the wins that we had in 2018. Huge wins.
So
world-changing.
You can get 10 comments. Nice ones.
I know, but then one bad comment comes in, and that's the one that sticks in your head. That's the one that gets a comment. Like, you'll respond more likely to the person that says something bad than the 20 amazing comments that people left on your channel. And it shouldn't be that way. It
should not be that way.
And Infowars does it. Alex Jones does it, because you have to defend yourself. It's like, but you really need to take time to acknowledge the supporters, the people that are there. So yeah, the bad news tends to stick more than the good news, but it shouldn't be that way.
Exactly. Marine Le Pen calls President Macron an imposter and a pyromaniac.
Is that because he wants his streets to burn?
I don't know.
And if we burn, you burn with us.
French President Emmanuel Macron used his New Year's televised address to lash out at the populist Yellow Vest protesters who have taken to the streets through November and December. And he calls them hateful.
Wow.
A hateful crowd is what he says.
They may be full of hate.
He attacked his detractors who have taken to the streets. Yeah, they may be. We covered Bolsonaro's ascension on Friday, but I wanted to show you a few pictures here of Bolsonaro with
well, everybody
Hungary's
thought that
Victor.
You were trying to say Javier. You weren't. It's spelled Jair. And Lee and I were trying to figure out how to pronounce that.
Yair.
It just has to be Yair.
So there's Viktor Orban, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Bolsonaro.
Oh my gosh, it's so great.
So I stumbled across this video of this relatively wonderfully happy, giddy, normal Muslim woman who I went to her channel after I saw this. she is a really fun, regular, normal person. And I think this is the disconnect between where the people on the left say...
Applemark says it's Javier.
Javier, okay.
Okay.
So the people on the left say that the people on the right are hateful, that they're Islamophobic, and things like that. Well, you had our 2 Muslim women elected into the Congress this year, and they're posing with hate speech.
Linda Sarsour and
Linda
her whole
Sarsour.
group of cronies.
So, yeah, it's the difference between the Westboro Baptist Christians and regular Christians in a way. Like, I'm not comparing
I
them
understand what you're trying to say.
doctrinally wise,
Right.
but you have to introduce yourself almost saying, you know, I'm not one of those people.
Right.
So I looked at her. Her name is Dina Tokyo, and she has been a really fun,
that's not
popular YouTuber, and she's really normal.
Do a challenge because we realise we haven't done one in ages. We're gonna do the Who Knows Me Better.
How well do you know each other?
Challenge.
Challenge.
There's gonna be lots of whipped cream involved and people getting pied in the face. Probably him because he's not gonna get any of the answers right because he really doesn't know.
Probably you. You don't know me
Probably.
at all.
I really don't know you.
Don't know me.
By the way, it's gonna be our first 5th-year wedding anniversary in about a week. We'll be married 5 years.
5 long years.
Anyway.
They're a cute couple, and she's a really cute Muslim girl, and I really like her. However, she was loved and accepted for all of her videos that she's put out. She's put out a like a fashion line, and she's written a book called Modestly, and she's even done a tour on, I guess, living modest. However, she had decided to go and wear hijab sometimes, but not all the time. And she's facing the backlash because of it. And she spends this whole video, 48 minutes, reading the hateful comments.
She's now saying Islam made her wear a scarf, and now that she doesn't want to wear it, people are making her feel bad. Mate, are you stupid or something? You should be happy people are giving dawah and saying, listen, it's your choice if you don't want to wear it, but keep practicing Islam. And dumb bitch Dina decides to mock the scarf instead and say she's being ganged up on, stupid cow. The Sahabas, companions of the Prophet, were so happy that if they did something wrong, people would correct them towards Islam, and today it's seen as an insult. Fucking Illuminati cult slag. Were you ever Muslim or
She does read her curse words, but I want you to know what's happening.
We could warn the children.
I don't know that there's...
Someone give her a sandwich. Oh my god, in a few years, nobody will want to look at her saggy face. Slowly, you will be a porn star. You are a sick person mentally. You are such a loser. Dina didn't get banged enough when she was young. Now she's opening up sexually. I've seen this too many times. Dog. Okay, scarf off. So when's her modest clothes going to start coming off as well? I hope you and your family all die painfully and slowly. Absolute disgrace.
This goes on for 48 minutes. Comment after comment after comment from her Muslim community.
Wow. Just because she wears the headscarf sometimes, but not always.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you do see some Muslim women coming to her defense saying you can do what you want, but it's few and far between, and it has gone viral.
Wow.
In an uninterrupted 47-minute video, the fashion blogger is only able to get through some of the nasty messages. Among the offensive and she a sick person, messed up, made Islam look bad. She's not a Muslim anymore. Another one calling her a part-time Muslim. Yet another one said you can't just wear a hijab when you feel like it. Others made uninvited comments on her personal appearance, saying she was ugly and gross without the scarf. I saw that over and over again. She kept reading once, "You're ugly without your headscarf. You're ugly without your headscarf." So, like, weird.
Wow.
Last year, she referred to the hijab community as a toxic cult and said she would only wear it when she chose to. She later explained the comment in more detail, saying, "I'm referring to the onslaught of slander and insults I received from a community that I was very much a part of and helped to build. all because of my personal decision to basically wear it when I want to. She said on Twitter, I've only just started showing my hair over the past few months. Every now and then whenever I felt comfortable to do so. Some days I'm more comfortable covering my hair and other days I'm more comfortable showing it, and that's just it.
So apparently within Islam, it's not a personal choice. It's not like it is with Christianity where, you know, it's between you and God. We say that to people all the time. It's between you and God. What you do is between you and God. God will judge you, okay? Like if I feel like what you're doing is wrong and it somehow is going to affect me, I am going to distance myself from you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like that's not what she's receiving from the Muslim community. They are very rigid.
Right.
It's so sad.
So this person says, I love Sid and Dina's channel and has watched it for years. Hopefully this experience makes them reconsider a lot of things about Islam, not just the hijab. Pray that they come to know the truth, because I was watching her channel. She just seemed like a wonderful person who I would love to be friends with. And I think it's just beautiful.
I think this is her Brett Kavanaugh moment, I think, where you wake up to, you know what? This rodeo that I've been a part of is corrupt and it's wrong. And now I see it. Like, it's all fine and good to be in a gang until you leave it and then they turn on you. And that's just the truth. These are gangs. They are thugs, okay? They don't care about you. They're just glad that you're a part of their number. She's all fine and good just so long as she's promoting a happy Islam to the world. But as soon as she does something that they don't like, then she's ostracized. She probably gets death threats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
So, yeah, I thought you guys would definitely want to
well,
see
and also,
that.
I hope that this may be to some of our more staunch viewers, you know who you are, that hate Islam and hate all Muslims and whatnot. You know, a lot of these people are just blind and they don't know. They don't know the evil that is behind them. Leah and I and our mom, Patriot Galler, we were part of the charismatic movement for many, many years. Now, we didn't participate in things that we didn't agree with,
right?
Like being slain in the spirit or something like that. But we were there and, you know, whatever. But it was more than that. It was the money movement. It was give to get, to give to get, to give to get, to give to get. It always ended on get. And they were always money hungry, false doctrine. And I'm not saying that the whole charismatic movement is like that. Don't get me wrong. But when you're in it, you just brush aside all the things that are checks inside of you. And I think that's what she's done. That's what Brett Kavanaugh has done. And then when you wake up, like, hang on, wait a minute. I've been a part of this, and these people are evil.
Right.
And that's a good thing that they're waking up to it. I mean, it's a hard
And it also goes to show that, like, people just like happy-go-lucky, loving people. It doesn't matter. People don't care if you're wearing a scarf on your head. I like her channel. She's fun. Yeah. Like, I watched a couple of her videos just to get to know her, and I'm like, well, I'd like to be friends with this Muslim. Right. Okay? And I don't see many of those. I mean, I see... The Muslims I see are like angry and violent, and the two women in Congress, I get an icky feel about them.
Not just
they
icky.
hate Israel.
They are evil. They are the devil.
They are evil, and this person is not. She's a good, loving, kind person. I want to end this on the Three Kings Day. Happy Three Kings Day, the 6th of January, the 12th day of Christmas. With Poland always does it big because they're Catholic country. And so I wanted to show you their parade that they have here.
Oh, wow.
This is Poland, Christian Poland. They're embracing their roots, Christianity. There's an interview with Viktor Orban.
Look at all these people dressed up as angels coming down the line.
Hungary is embracing its Christian roots. There's an interview with Viktor Orban that says Islam does not belong in our culture.
Obviously.
And this is Poland, as embracing Christianity, is coming out of the communist roots. And I have seen on my Twitter, there's battles within the Polish conservative movements. Some hate certain leaders, some think they're still communist, but like everybody hates the communists in the conservative movement. They really do. I love that they have a camel here in Poland.
Oh my gosh, they do.
They picked the black guy, the one black guy in Poland,
I love it.
To be one of the kings here. We need you. Could you play one of the kings? We knew that they were probably
authentic. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
There's
it's so
another-
awesome.
there
Well
was
done,
one-
Poland, as
There
always.
is one more I wanted to show you.
Okay, good. And then I'm going to get to the clip that we did on Friday before we sign off here.
Where is it? It was just one more of the beautiful Three Kings in Poland, but I guess I don't have it. I must have. Oh, Christians in Poland celebrate Three Kings Day. So, there's some pictures. I guess that was it. Today, Christians in Poland celebrate Three Kings Day in Polish. Despite minus temperatures, thousands of people have gathered for the annual march. It marks the end of the Christmas season in impressive style. No terrorist attacks, no knives, no anything. Just beautiful. All right.
It is beautiful. All right, so for those of you that saw Friday's show, you saw Leah impersonating Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It was
newly minted AOC.
Hilarious. Okay, now our friend Jay said to me, did you guys do a show today? And I said no, but we did. This was yesterday. I said no, but we did one on Friday. It was hilarious. Leah impersonated AOC, and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm on it. I'm watching it right now. So as he's watching it, he sends me a message, and he's like, oh my gosh, you girls are so funny. I always watch you in 1.5 time. He always speeds it up. You can do that on YouTube. You can watch any video faster. So you're going to hear our voices faster. So when Leah and I banter and go back and forth, it's hilarious. So he sent me a couple of clips, which are really funny, and they are on our Resistance Chicks page on Facebook. If you aren't there, you need to be there. And I just thought, oh, haha, that is hilarious. I watched them a couple of times. So funny. Then he sends me the one of Leah impersonating AOC. And he's like, this has to go to Trump. This has to go viral. So I did my very best to share it as much as I could on Twitter. It's had like 1,300 views, which is pretty big for us for Twitter as a little video. So I wanted to play it to you guys, or for you guys, because I just think it is. And I have to listen to it again, though. I can't just watch it without the...
It is really funny when it's fast.
It's funny when it's fast. I wonder what it would be. I think maybe you wouldn't be able to make it out if it was any faster than 1.5 time. 1.5 time makes it here. We can share this.
Okay.
All the better. Okay, so we're gonna switch this over, and you guys are gonna get a laugh, and we're probably gonna watch it like 3 times. Okay, wait. Let me switch this over. Here we are. I know what I'm doing. I work here. Okay, here it is. Are you ready? You're not ready.
Sidestepping your question that you just asked, I'm not going to tell you that I really, really, really am going to take everybody's cars away from them, and that if I had a pipe dream, I would do just that. And then I would make the government give everyone electric cars, because I don't want people not driving. Pardon the tech. I'm not a computer robot. It's going to take a lot of rapid check.
Hang on, we're going to watch it one more time. It's too good. We're watching it again.
Sidestepping your question that you just asked, I'm not going to tell you that I really, really, really am going to take everybody's cars away from them, and that if I had a pipe dream, I would do just that. And then I would make the government give everyone electric cars, because I don't want people not driving. Pardon the tech. I'm not a computer robot.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to take a lot of rapid check.
So if you guys are on... Now, how do I get this?
So, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is on as an interview tonight. You can watch the whole thing. You can watch the whole thing with Anderson Cooper tonight.
I'm going to tell you that I really, really, really am going to take every...
And the clip that they put out with her saying, we want 0 carbon emissions. And he asks her, like, point blank, so you're getting rid of everybody's cars? And she totally doesn't even answer it. She's like, it's ambitious. It's ambitious.
It's so great.
And I just have to tell you guys, I am really, really, I'm saddened by my conservative male counterparts.
No kidding.
Who libertarian-leaning counterparts, alternative media counterparts, who find her so attractive. Honey, you can put chocolate on poo. But I don't find it attractive.
That's fine. But if they want to find her attractive and just say, okay, she is a pretty girl, but it's the crassness. Oh, she's so hot. She really is hot. She's so hot. She actually is hot. Like, so it makes her okay because, like, I guess she is hot. I have to admit that she's hot.
Yeah,
like, it's weird.
So it's so different. Like, seriously, it's going to be real deal.
You're
like,
just saying, you know what? I get it. She's an attractive person.
Yeah,
or whatever.
The difference between saying attractive and pretty and hot is like, I would like to have sex with her.
Exactly.
And it's just weird. Gross. So it's like, it's just gross because she literally, her view of life is so dangerous.
Yeah.
And it is fascism.
It is.
And when you see, you know, James O'Keefe does a really good job. He gets some pretty girls, and he gets these men in these tech companies to like spill their guts, and that's how he got the video.
Right.
And I want to say to my, you know, right as Stalin people, like, you're really gonna, like, I'm not falling for it. No, you really did. Like, once you started to say, well, she's hot, or she's kind of fun dancing, or whatever like that, like, you've already fallen for her shtick.
You didn't play this. And I'm going to give it 5 seconds.
No,
5
I hate the beginning. No, I really hate it.
Well, Sean was wondering who we're talking about.
Okay.
Maybe I can get a picture. I can just pull up a picture. Well, that's enough. That probably will be okay. All right. So this is the congresswoman right here that was elected in New York. Is that right? So
she did a dance video.
She did a
for
dance
Boston
video
University.
like 3 years ago.
7,
whatever. Yeah. And everybody's playing it, and all these guys are coming out with her. And you're right, the beginning is very cheesy.
Screen,
I am gonna take her off the screen. But I do now. We can be done talking about her, but I want to play these other ones because they're really funny.
Okay, but to explain who she is, she's a new congressperson. She was a waitress. She ran on not just a socialist agenda. She pretends to be a person of the people, but she says crazy stuff like we're gonna tax the wealthy at their $10 millionth dollar at a 70% tax rate.
Right.
She calls Israel the occupation of Palestine. She doesn't understand basic math. I think she does, honestly. She graduated with a degree in economics.
Right.
And I think she's scary dangerous.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't think she's that dumb. And so guys always fall for the ditzy ones.
Don't do that, guys.
They always fall for the ditzy ones. So what bothers me the most is seeing the conservative people like falling for her.
I know.
Like, but she's fun, and like even like conservative women's. I've been like twittering out.
Do you
want
to eat the apple like the Snow White thing? I mean, seriously.
The problem with her proposals is that they require the use of force and violence to come and take your stuff to redistribute it. She literally says,
ambitious to have 0 carbon emissions in 12 years. That means that your old Corvette that's sitting outside from the 60s, you can't drive that. That's 0. You know, that would they're literally going to confiscate everything. Now, Sooks, talking about righteous conservative young men, says she's pretty. But when I first heard her open her mouth, whatever made her looks attractive took a backseat to her idiocy.
You know, and that's just it. That's just it. There are lots of quote-unquote attractive men in Hollywood or whatever, but as soon as they start to say crazy stuff, you're just like, it's so off-putting. You can't even say, it's so disgusting. Like, I mean, look at, you know, you've got Ashley Judd. She's just totally disgusting now. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And she used to be cool. Mm-hmm. So Belinda says, that's what the video was meant to do. The original account that dropped the video on Twitter is now gone. The MSM created the narrative that Republicans hate dancing. It's total manipulation.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. Now, I'm going to play for you guys.
She said to the woman who said about Trump, we're going to impeach the mother effer. Today she has an article, she's quoted an article saying, I got your back. We're going to do this together. But see, that's what she means. So she comes at it, we're going to impeach the mother effer. That's the way she does it. Yeah. It's so violent and it's so wrong. Like, seriously, you have the one lady who's just like normal. Like, nobody likes her. And we're back in America right now. Sorry, we came back to America, European news. Because it's on our minds. It's on our minds. Because we have new Congress people. We have 2 Muslim women. And they're not that hijab girl.
Mm-mm.
They're
militant.
They're militant. They're Islamists.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not just pro-Palestine. They're anti-Israel. In my opinion, they're anti-America. Then they shouldn't be in office, not because they're Muslim, but because they're anti-America. That hijab girl, come and serve in our country. I think you need a little help, but I'll exchange you. If we could do an exchange program and pick which one we wanted in.
Exactly. All right, so now for fun. we're going back here. We're going to Facebook here for these because Jay put them together for us, and they are just so much fun. Watch, this is great.
Difference of bat poop versus other poop, because I deal with a lot of poop. It's just poop crazy. They're just crazy. You know, poop hitting fan, whatever that is, it's all just a bunch of poop. They're obsessive too. Well, they are, because that's what spews out of their mouth. Right. It's a bunch of poop. Right? And, so I have weird things in my head. But not bad poo. I mean, horse poo is a little easier to deal with. So yeah. And some poo is different than others. Horse poo is the easiest poo to deal with, for the record, if anybody wants to know. Yeah, it's not even like poo. It's just kind of like grass, just all kind of in a bundle. It's like alfalfa pills. It is, actually. I mean, yeah, it really is. Cow poo is the next once it's dried. Yeah. Wet, it's not fun. Not fun. Especially when they poo while you're milking. Really not fun. Ask me how I know.
Okay, now wait, there's one more. If you guys aren't on Resistance Chicks, you're not getting this kind of content. This would be what I would consider exclusive content. You know what I'm saying? That we would put out if we had one of those Patreon accounts.
For 2 months, 2 years. Could be. Was that prophetic? Yeah. Was that if you're? I'm feeling it. That was a prophetic Freudian slip, but it wasn't for it. It was Jesus. Okay. She's gonna be power for 2 months. Mark my slip. If it was the Holy Spirit, we'll see. We'll see 2 months. We'll look at March 4th and see what happens. Please, and 4th be with you, right? Yeah. May the Jesus 4th be with you. That'd be awesome. But if that's not the truth, if that's not true, it will be. As I said, March 4th. You said May. I said March. Okay. But then you said May. The truth is marching on. Okay.
Sorry, it's not very often that Leah and I get a chance to watch ourselves back, but watching ourselves back in a clip like that in 1.5 time, oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Now, this is I'm going to introduce the part of the show where Michelle goes Alex Jones on you guys, okay? We're being censored. I know that our show is fun. You guys help make it fun. I get it. God is in control, but if you want to help contribute to liking and commenting and sharing said clips on Facebook or Twitter or these videos on your social media accounts and telling all of your friends about Resistance Chicks, that would be a good idea because we're fun and you guys are fun and our chat is fun. And I think more people would benefit from being part of the Resistance Chicks family. Now, I said that way better than Alex Jones would have said it.
You did.
I did. Oh my gosh. Sean says, I didn't know you could do that on YouTube videos. Haha, I still have so much to learn. Yes, you do, my friend. I don't know where it's at. I've found it before. You go on there and you can, I don't know where the option is. Like try the little 3 buttons next to a video or whatever. But you can watch any video in a sped up time. Right. 1.5 time is probably what I would recommend. But that way you could just cut, what is that? 1/4 of the show off if you didn't have time to watch all of our show. Thank you, Leah, for putting together a really fun show today. That was a really good show. We had some fun. We had some, craziness. We had the yellow vests. So, all right. Do you have a song for these people?
I've been wanting to sing, it's the same song, one of the things I sing all the time.
One of the same sing song?
Yeah, it's the Heritage Hill song, the one, Come All You Heavy Laden.
Okay, we're going to sing that one. That's a cappella, so you don't have to get the guitar out. Thank you to all of our moderators who were here. Oh, while Leah's looking that up, I did have a message from Tracy that she had left on our New Year's Eve show, I think, that I wanted to read to you guys, and I didn't get a chance. Sean is here in the chat. I'm assuming that Tracy is sitting there with him. But she says, thank you for another wonderful show this evening. We were excited to be able to watch live from start to finish. We even managed to sneak a peek at your Christmas show opening our gift. Our holiday vacation was one of the Canary Islands. Now, she actually pronounces this word for me. Fuerteventura, about 60 kilometers from the African coast. As a Principality of Spain, I had hoped we would pick something beautiful for you. Sadly, it's more likely to be able to purchase an awful phallic items, and so we decided to buy something when we got home. But I really wanted to get to the Christian bookshop, which is 1 town and 4 villages away. So I apologize again that they were posted and arrived so late. That's one of my resolutions this year, to be on top of things more. Happy New Year to you all. We both wish you love, hope, health, and wealth, and happiness in this coming year. And we still plan a visit to Ohio in the autumn. All our love to you. So thank you, Tracy. I had meant to read that on the New Year's Eve show, and I missed it. We had just cut off. So we love you guys. And we are happy to have you come in the fall, since you're world travelers now. They really get around, Sean and Tracy. From St. Hippolyte's. Their hometown.
I love that name.
All right. She's here saying, that's me. Yeah, that's you. All right, here we go. Come all you heavy laden. Come all you heavy laden.
the Garden of Gethsemane he prayed, sweating blood. Father, will you take this cup from me? If not, your will be done. Oh yeah, come all you heavy laden. Come all you heavy laden. Come all you heavy laden. His burden is light. Cat o' nine tails tore at his flesh. The lamb was torn and bruised. Put a crown of thorns upon his head. Here comes the King of Jews. Oh yeah, come all you heavy laden. Come all you heavy laden. Come all you heavy laden. His burden is light. Climbing up the mountain called the skull for our iniquities. Pardoning a thief hung on the cross. Today you'll be with me. Oh yeah, come all you heavy laden. Come all you heavy laden. Come all you heavy laden. His burden is light. At his dying breath, the whole earth shook. The rocks split in two. Nailing every sorrow to his death, he paid for me and you. Oh yeah, come all you heavy, lay it down now. Come all you heavy, lay it down now. Come all you heavy laden. His burden is light. Awesome. I love that song. That's a really great one. If you guys don't, Heritage Hill, just look them up. You can download all their songs for free. They're really, really, really powerful. They will encourage your day every time that you. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe
to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks.
Ring the bell for notifications.
Because you never know what channel we're going to be going live on.
Yes.
Mass Faith 3 is still censored. It's 30 days from the day that I contested it, which was the 19th. So Channel 5 has 30 days to pony up their proof that we weren't fair use, which we totally were. So ring the bell so you get notified. We will be going live on Resistance Chicks until further notified.
We have a P.O. Box.
107 Milford, Ohio 45150. If you send your letters or messages like Tracy, we will read them on air. We love you. God loves you. And I want you. Apple Mark says, my bell was unbelled. That happens. That happens a lot. Yeah.
We're so totally glad that you guys were here. We love you so much. Thank you for finding us here on Resistance Chicks.
And again, to all of our moderators, we love you and thank you very much.
And hopefully we'll see you before next
So
Friday.
we're going to be, we will, because after we sign off here, we're going to get Kansas and we're going to do our little thing. It's not going to be live, right? We're going to record it and then we'll upload it in full costume, since you guys didn't get to see our costumes from the other day that we made for our 1776 party. So that's going to be really fun. I have a Bible study that I'm, Lord willing, going to get to this week. So yeah, there will be some stuff happening this week.
Okay.
All right. We love you guys. God bless.
I was called